Welcome back. It's the Kovacs Report, and the reviews continue this week with Spider-Man and Wolverine 5, the final part of the first arc of this ongoing book, which has been, to say the least, disappointing. Now, I'm going to go through it page by page. There will be spoilers, of course, so do read the book beforehand. If you want to support, like the video if you can, and hit subscribe. That would be fantastic. I'd really appreciate it, and it will help me grow the channel. So here we have Dreadshadow. This is the new, uninteresting villain that has been shoehorned into this story because it needs a villain. He's pretty much boring and forgettable, and we're going to dive in and see just how forgettable. I'm really, really sorry, guys. I know some people like this book, or they liked it at the beginning, but it has just been one repetitive issue after another. Okay. Now, Marc Guggenheim and Kaare Andrews are the creative team behind it. Now, listen, I'm really sorry. I know you're not going to like this, but I just don't like his art. I'm really, really sorry. It's not for me. If you love it, then bonus, absolutely amazing. But for me, it really detracts from what little story there is here. So let's have a quick catch up on this story. Spider-Man and Wolverine have teamed up to locate the Janus files. This is data that has been stolen, and it contains the true identities of all the spies and the undercover agents in the Marvel Universe. So it's pretty terrible if it fell into the hands of the bad guys. Now, while they were retrieving this, Peter Parker found other files on this disk of information, okay, or this computer. It was a video of his parents dying basically in a plane crash, and it looked like Wolverine was on the plane and responsible for their deaths. Now, of course, we know that's not true. They're not going to pull that kind of fast one on us on this sort of uninteresting little arc in this book, which isn't going to get past 10 issues. So no. So it will eventually be revealed that he wasn't there to kill them. He was there to help them, right? Anyway, this has caused a lot of friction between Spider-Man and Wolverine, but Spidey's doing the good thing. Now, also, Spidey's long-lost sister's turned up as well. She's on the hunt for Wolverine because, she's seen the video too. And that's where we are. And I have this flashback years ago of the Enforcer, which is an old character from many, many moons ago. And this is the whole pivotal moment of why Dreadshadow is here and why he's playing with Spider-Man and Wolverine, pitting them against each other and trying to ruin their lives. So a long time ago, Wolverine and Spidey, they foiled this guy doing a robbery of some kind, killing people. I don't know what he was doing. He's a bad guy, all right. And they stopped him and they put him in jail. They didn't kill him because you know what? Spidey doesn't kill, right? Anyway, we jump back to today. And this is exactly where we are. We've got Teresa, which is Spider-Man's long-lost sister, over Wolverine, who's just been shot by Teresa. Now, she goes and gives us the backstory. And this whole issue is, here's an event, and then here's the entire explanation of why it's happened so that we can move the plot forward, rather than unraveling the story through the issues. Everything is just explained after it happens. Honestly, it's written for kids. She says 2 days ago, something called the Janus directory was leaked to the dark web. In the file was a video of our parents' last moments. So she explains that she's seen this video. And she says, I was on that plane, but somehow I survived the crash and was rescued. Now, that's why she's killing Wolverine. But of course, Wolverine ain't dead because he's got this healing factor. So while they're chatting about it, explaining everything that's happened, okay, he leaps at her to try and kill her, which again, he wouldn't do that. It's Peter Parker's sister. He'd be really angry and be trying to figure stuff out. I don't think that's true. But some say, yeah, but it's berserker rage. Maybe he doesn't know who it is. I think he would hold back slightly with Peter Parker there. Anyway, Pete whips him and holds him back. The gun is pointed at his head. She's going to shoot him again. Now, before that happens, the uninteresting villain, Dreadshadow, turns up. Okay. And of course, he's got missiles that come out of his cybernetic arms. And it's like, wow, he's got missiles. Everything's exploding. He's blown them all up. And he explains that he is there, okay, to right a wrong that they are responsible. They are responsible for. He says, well, isn't this appropriate? Spider-Man once more trying to turn Wolverine away from murder without regard for the consequences. He says, going to bed each night, sleeping sound, believing you did good, that you're heroes, but I showed you you're not heroes. You're just irresponsible men without honor, just killers by other means. He says, you feckless bastards, my daughter is dead because of you. So there we go. His daughter's dead because of Spidey and Wolverine, and this is why he's been here, wreaking this havoc. And then we get the explanation. Yep, we just get it all given to us. Years ago, you fought the Enforcer. He'd killed hundreds over his career, and the two of you had the chance to end him. But you, Spider-Man, could never do what was necessary. And Wolverine, you were pretending to be a human being, showing mercy. You sent him to the raft, but he got out and went on a crime spree that killed Evelyn. And that's the reason why. Yeah, so really, it's not really Spider-Man or Wolverine's fault. Right. But, we need to have some really ridiculous sort of like tenuous reason for this villain to be wreaking his havoc here. And then we get even more explanation about it, even more. He says, a few years ago, S.H.I.E.L.D. came into possession of the Janus directory. S.H.I.E.L.D. disbanded shortly thereafter, but the directory gave me everything I needed to know about the two of you, including the curious detail of why Spider-Man was so obsessed with Richard and Mary Parker. The explanation that you were their son was obvious. Less so was how to put the video in front of you without suspicion, as he smacks them around a bit more and we get this fight scene. He says, Bill Branscombe proved instrumental with the proper motivation. It was easy, so he was on it earlier on in the arc. We've got to explain his being there, right? So easy to set you two against each other and her against you. You're not heroes, which is why it was so simple to get your enemies to work against you, to show you the truth about yourselves. I mean, honestly, what a pile of it, honestly. So this villain, his daughter was killed by a vigilante they put in prison, which is what they're supposed to do, right? So he's punishing them for not being murderers, right? And result was his daughter died when this guy escaped. So he wants them to sort of realize that they're not heroes. They're actually terrible human beings. And that's the whole thing. And this is his revenge against the two of them. You think you're heroes, you think you can make these judgments of life and death, but you can't. Anyway, Spidey's sister has had enough of it. So she just like stabs him straight through the back with these sort of retractable claw things. And he's like, oh, you're so predictable. And then he absolutely explodes because in the melee, I think she's firing bullets at him or something happens. It's not really clear. Right, his teleporter gets hit and it explodes, and it leaves behind just the cybernetic arms, and he's supposedly dead. Obviously, he's not dead. They're going to bring this worthless character back at some point for no apparent reason. Anyway, then we have these few pages where everyone's sort of like questioning what they've done. Peter's like, oh my God, maybe he's right. He twisted my head around. Oh, maybe I did the wrong thing by not killing someone. Totally out of character for Peter. Honestly, it's just terrible. The dialogue, I'm not even going to read it, but that's the gist of it. And there we go. Then, a few weeks later at Rand Enterprises, we get the true reveal of the video. Because, of course, Wolverine wasn't to blame. We know that. We know that 100%. Doesn't really need explaining, but here we go. So we see him on the plane and he's there. Guess what he's done? All right, because it all ties together, yeah? It all ties together. Oh, there's a bomb planted on the plane. And guess who put the bomb on the plane? That's right. The same villain they put in prison, which escaped, which killed Dreadshadow's daughter, is now responsible for Peter Parker's parents' death. You know what? Honestly, it is what it is. And we see Wolverine there. Okay, he'd managed to defuse one of the bombs, but there was a secondary bomb and it exploded. But we also find out that Teresa wasn't on the plane because in their dying words, they say, it's okay, Peter will be okay, but they don't mention her. So her true history is now all up in air. Oh my God. Anyway, that's it. That's really it. So what is set up is that Peter's sister, she now has to go and try and figure out her true origins. Peter knows that Wolverine didn't kill his parents. Wolverine knows he didn't do it either. And we are moving on to the next arc. The next arc where the villains that were pitted against Spider-Man and Wolverine in the previous issues, for no apparent reason, in the repetitive, like 2 or 3 issues that we had, probably about 3 or 4 actually, they've decided, with Dreadshadow dead, what are we going to do? And he's like, well, there's a good thing. There's a good thing that this has brought to us is that we're all together now. So we can come together and we can go and kill Spider-Man, probably. To be continued. Yeah, so we've got like this Sinister Four here. Honestly, let the downvotes come. This is not good writing. Okay, it really, really, really isn't. And if Spider-Man isn't having enough trouble in his own book right now with the quality of work on the writing side of it, right? We have another Spider-Man book which is an absolute letdown. It just seems to me that Marvel really, really have forgotten who Spider-Man and Peter Parker are, as well as many, many other of their characters. And it's such a shame because Marc Guggenheim's not a bad writer at all. I've liked quite a lot of the things that he's written, but this isn't good. This is not good. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Do let me know yours. Hopefully you've liked the video. Hopefully you subscribed. And hopefully, more importantly than anything, I'll see you in the next review.